Chapter 1 Review Group Test. Number 1. What is the parent function for gx? 2 absolute value x plus 6. The parent function, we call it as absolute value, and this is the name of the function, and the function itself is fx equals absolute value x. Describe the transformation of gx to absolute value x plus 6 to its parent function. So if the parent function is fx equals absolute value x, then 2 in the front means that it's a vertical stretch by a factor of 2, and this 6 means that is up 6 units. Question number 2. Compare the graph with the parent graph fx absolute value x. Describe the transformation. So the transformation of this one compared to the parent graph is down 3 units because it's a negative 3 outside. What could you think to make new function hx a vertical stretch of the old function fx? So for the new function hx, if you multiply any number in front of the absolute value, either a or 2, a number that is greater than 1, then it's going to be a vertical stretch. Write a function h that is vertical stretch of the factor by 3. So just multiply the 3 outside. If you multiply any number that is greater than 1 to the outside of the function, then it's going to be a vertical stretch by that factor. So it's a vertical stretch by a factor of 3. Number 3, create a function gx from the transformation fx equals x plus 3 in the following way. Shift fx 8 units to the right. So we are going to create a new function gx. It's shifted 8 units to the right. So inside you're going to subtract the 8 because if it shifts right, then you're going to subtract the number inside. So x plus 3 minus 8, that's going to be x minus 5. Now the new function gx is x minus 5. And on 3b is asking us to graph the old function, that is fx x plus 3 absolute value. So the old function is fx x plus 3. So if the 3 is inside and is positive, then we are going to move the graph 3 units to the left side or in the negative side. And the new function that is came out as x minus 5. So if it's a negative 5 inside, then we're going to move the functions 5 units to the right side. So this is our graph for gx and this is for fx. Number 4. Write an equation of the line and interpret the slope and y-intercept. I use this point as my x1, y1 and this one as x2, y2. Use the formula that is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 18 minus 0 and 2 minus 0. So that's going to be 9. So the slope of a line is 9. Y-intercept is the point where x is 0. So this point is going to be 0. That is y-intercept. So using the formula y equal mx plus b, where b is 0, you're going to get the equation y equals 9x. Now the interpretation of the slope is that this 9 is the watts used. So there are 9 watts used in 1 hour. For number 5, Vanessa opens a saving account with $350. She saves $150 per month. So the fixed amount is called y-intercept and we're going to use it for y-intercept. And then changing 1, we are going to use it as slope. So we are going to write down the equation and assume that she does not withdraw money or make any extra deposits. Write an equation to model the data representing the total amount money as y Vanessa deposit into her account after x months. So as I said, y-intercept is 350, slope is 150, and y is the total amount of money. And then the equation is going to be 150x plus 350. Now, to answer the question or letter B, you're going to find out after how many months will Vanessa have more than $2,000. So we're going to assume that y equals 2,000, and then we're going to solve for how many months or solve for x. So subtract 350 on both sides. You're going to get 1650, divide 150, you're going to get x, or number of months 11. So after 11 months, Vanessa will have more than $2,000. So Lisa is tracking the growth of her aloe vera plant. The table is given on the bottom. Use any one point as x1, y1 and the other one as x2, y2 to solve for the slope. So the slope is y2 minus y1, which is 1.5, divided by x2 minus x1, which is 1 minus 0, and that's just 1. Y-intercept is 0, and then the equation or the function value is going to be y equals 1 point x. It said function, so I'm going to write it down. Fx equals 1.5x. So just to answer the question that is in the same way it is asked. The next is going to be estimate the height of the plant after 6 days. So x we use for days, so we're going to plug x as 6, and then 1.5 times 6 is 9. So after 6 days, the height of the plant would be 9 centimeters. So number 7, write a function gx whose graph represents the following transformation of fx. So fx given as your parent function. You're going to translate this function 4 units up and 5 units left. So use this as our model function, and we are going to 4 unit up means add 4 on the outside, and 5 unit left means you're going to add 5 inside the function. So left or right we use inside the function, up or down we use this number outside the function. So if it is right, then we're going to subtract. If it is left, then we are going to add the 5. So this inside is going to become x plus 2 because negative 3 plus 5 is plus 2. And outside is negative 2 plus 4, which is 2. Now we are going to graph fx equals negative x minus 3 minus 2. So the negative 3 means that we are going to move 3 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3. The negative 2 means that you're moving 2 units down. So this is the point where we're going to start our graph. This negative inside in front of the fx means that it's a reflection over the x-axis. So reflection means you're going to make it look upside down. So this is going to be a reflected graph fx. Now we are going to graph gx equals negative x plus 2 plus 2. So this plus 2 inside means that you're going to move left 2 units. So this one is left 2 unit and up 2 unit. So it's going to be this point, and since it's a negative in front of the x, it means it's a reflection over the x-axis. So this is going to be your gx graph. Let's just do number 8. Solve the system of equation by elimination and show your work. So you have two equations, equation number 1 and equation number 2. I can see that in equation number 1 and 2, you have a negative 2y and negative 2y. And we are going to multiply one of them by negative 1 so that they are opposite in sign. So I decided to multiply the second equation by negative 1. And we're going to rewrite the equation. So first equation as is. So negative 7x minus 2y equals negative 13. And when you multiply the second equation by negative 1, you're going to get negative x plus 2y negative 11. Add the 2y and negative 2y cancel. Negative 7 negative x becomes negative 8x equals negative 24. Divide with negative 8 on both sides. X is 3 and then use this x as 3 into the original equation, and solve for y. So this 3, we're going to plug it here, and 3 minus 2y equals 11. Subtract 3 on both sides, you're going to get negative 2y equals 8. Divide with negative 2, you're going to get y equals negative 4. So your answer is going to be 3 comma negative 4. Number 9. A candle shop sells scented candles for 16 each and unscented candles for $10 each. The shop sells 28 candles today and make $400. Write and solve a system of equations to find how many scented candles and how many unscented candles are sold. So write your final answer in a complete sentence. So define the variable scented candle as x and unscented as y. 16 times x plus 10 times y equals $400, and total number of candles are x plus y equals 28. To solve this system of equation, we are going to make one of the variables same and opposite. So that's why I multiplied negative 10 with the bottom equation. So the first equation we're going to rewrite as is, and the second equation we're going to multiply with negative 10. So this is going to be negative 10 minus negative 10y equals 280 negative. Adding the two will cancel then, and 10y and negative 10y. 16 minus 10 is 6. 6x equals 120. Divide the 6 on both sides. So the x, which is scented candles, are 20 in numbers. You're going to find out the unscented candles. So you're going to use one of the original equation and use x as 20. So 20 plus y equals 28. Subtract 20 on both sides, you're going to get y equals 8. So there are 20 scented candle and 8 unscented candle. Now let's just do number 10 and number 11. So number 10a. Given fx equals absolute value x plus 7, write a new function gx translated 2 units right and 9 units down. So we're going to translate this function 2 units right and 9 unit down. So 2 units right means that you're going to subtract 2 inside the function, and down means you're going to subtract the 9 outside of the function. So the new function gx is x minus 2 absolute value minus 2, and this function is a translated function of fx 2 units right and 9 units down. Remember, for left and right, we add or subtract inside the parallel lines, that is absolute value inside. And for up and down, we are going to add or subtract outside of the symbol. B. Given fx equals x plus 4 absolute value plus 2, write a new function gx reflected in the x-axis and down 10 unit. The reflection means that you're going to multiply the negative to the function entirely and distribute the negative inside. So you're going to get negative x plus 4 minus 2. And then down 10 unit means you're going to subtract 10 at the end, and you're going to have the final function as negative x plus 4 absolute value minus 12. Letter C. Given function x minus 3 minus 5, write a new function gx whose vertically shrunk by the factor of 1 over 3. Vertical shrink and vertical stretch means that you're going to multiply the whole function or entire function by that number. So this is my function, and I'm going to multiply 1 over 3 to the entire function. So distribute the 1 over 3 inside. So this is going to be 1 over 3 absolute value x minus 3 minus 1 over 3 times 5 would be 5 over 3. For number 11, define each term. Graphically, what it means for one solution is when two lines cut each other at certain point, that is called one solution. For no solution, there are two parallel lines. It means they are not cutting at any point, so this means no solution. Infinite many solution, it's the same line on top of each other, so which means that we have infinite time the line touches the other line, so infinite many solution. Mathematically or algebraically, what it means that any point when you get the answer for x, answer for y, it could be any number for x or for y, then it's called one solution. Algebraically, what it means is that when you get something equals to something, so 2 equals 1, and they are not equal to each other, then they are called no solution. Infinite many solution means that they are equal to each other. If you get the situation like that, where the number on one side equals to the number on the other side, then it's called infinite many solution. Solve the system of equation for number 12. So I'm going to use this y. The y value is negative 3x minus 9, and plug it in for this y. So 6x plus 2 times, this is going to be plugged in for y, equals 12. Distribute the 2 inside, you're going to get 6x minus 18 equals 12. 6x and negative 6x cancel. Negative 18 equals 12. It's not possible because negative 18 is not equal to 12. So that's why we're going to say that this is no solution.